In a world where the average smartphone has more computing power than the Apollo 11 spacecraft, the concept of uploading a human brain's contents into a digital format doesn't seem as far-fetched as it once did. The ability to back up our brains and transfer our consciousness into a digital realm has been a staple of science fiction for decades. However, today, this concept is inching closer to reality, with the potential to redefine what it means to be human. Before we dive deep into this captivating journey of the mind, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and ring the bell so you won't miss any of our future explorations into the ever-evolving world of futuristic technology. Now, let's embark on a comprehensive exploration of the potential of brain backup and digital consciousness transfer. We'll begin by understanding the human brain, a marvel of nature that still baffles scientists with its complexity. Picture, for a moment, the brain's 100 billion neurons firing signals at over 200 miles per hour, weaving an intricate web of thoughts, memories, emotions, and consciousness. This intricate wiring is what makes you, well, you. The first thing we need to address is the process of brain backup. The idea is to capture a person's neuronal structure, the synapses, and the ongoing electrical activity, essentially mapping out the individual's memories, skills, and personality. This process is akin to creating a highly sophisticated computer model of an entire weather system, but infinitely more complex. What we're looking at here is not just data storage, it's the preservation of a person's very essence. Now imagine a world where this is possible. What could it mean for humanity? One immediate benefit, of course, would be the potential to outlive our biological bodies. If our brain's contents could be saved and possibly even transferred, mortality, as we understand it, could be bypassed. You could wake up in a computational substrate, a virtual environment, or potentially even a new biological vessel. But as wondrous as this sounds, it also raises a myriad of ethical, philosophical, and societal questions. What does it mean to be alive? Are we merely the sum of our memories and experiences, or is there something more intangible to our existence? To delve into these questions, we need to consider the current scientific advancements that are bringing us closer to this future. Researchers in the field of Connectomics are endeavoring to map the brain's connections, aiming to understand its structure and function completely. Techniques like high-resolution brain imaging and the development of supercomputing models are the tip of the spear when it comes to creating a comprehensive brain backup. We're in the early days, but the progress is undeniable and accelerating. One day, if we could back up a brain, what could we do with this data? One application might be in the field of medicine, where a digital copy of a patient's brain could be used to predict the outcome of treatments or surgeries without any risk to the actual person. In education, imagine downloading knowledge or skills directly into your consciousness, Matrix style. The possibilities are as boundless as the mind itself. There are, however, significant hurdles to overcome. Capturing the entirety of a brain's structure and function is a gargantuan task. We're not just talking about data in the order of gigabytes or terabytes, but potentially petabytes for just a single individual. Beyond mere data capture, there's the complexity of how memories are formed and stored. Memories are not like files in a cabinet, but are dynamic, constantly changing, and sometimes even unreliable. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Furthermore, there's the issue of consciousness. Consciousness is not just an on-off switch, it's a spectrum. It's not fully understood, and its relationship to our biological processes remains one of the biggest mysteries in science. Transferring that consciousness to a digital medium poses a challenge like no other. It's not sufficient to have a perfect digital replica of someone's brain patterns if it lacks the spark of consciousness that makes it truly alive. Despite these challenges, the pursuit of digital immortality draws ever more interest. Projects like the Blue Brain Project and initiatives funded by tech magnates are pushing forward, exploring every avenue from neural lace technology to whole brain emulation. The implications are profound, possibly the most significant leap in human evolution since the development of language. As we continue our in-depth exploration, it's clear this topic is not only about the science, it's also about the profound philosophical reflections on identity. the nature of self, and the essence of mortality. What would it mean for personal identity if there were multiple copies of you? Could they all be considered the real you? Imagine the legal and moral implications of property, inheritance, and even criminal responsibility if your digital self continues on after your biological death. At this point, you might be wondering, how close are we truly to achieving the goal of brain backup and digital consciousness transfer? The honest answer is that we're still in the infancy of this endeavor. The steps required to not just map and store a brain, but to also replicate its function in a digital or alternative biological form are complex beyond current capabilities. But the trajectory of technology suggests that what's impossible today might be tomorrow's breakthrough. As we move forward in this narrative, let's examine the potential pathways to making this a reality. A primary method could involve nanotechnology, using tiny machines to map and replicate neural pathways. Another route could be through advancements in artificial intelligence, which might one day be capable of reconstructing a mind in silico based on behavioral and psychological data. We must also consider the societal impact. If brain backup becomes feasible, it could drastically alter social structures, the economy, and even the way we conceive of life and death. What would the societal implications be if only the wealthy could afford digital immortality? It brings up issues of inequality and the very value we place on human experience. As we approach the conclusion of our journey today, it's important to underscore that the potential of brain backup and digital consciousness transfer is not just about pushing the boundaries of science, but also about confronting some of the most fundamental questions of human existence. The trajectory of this technology could lead to a future where the human experience can be preserved beyond the limitations of our biological lifespan, allowing us to explore the universe and perhaps even transcend our physical form. The potential of brain backup and digital consciousness transfer remains in the domain of scientific research and philosophical debate for now. Still, it cannot be denied that it holds a fascination that could very well shape the future of our species. If you found today's exploration into this awe-inspiring field as fascinating as I did, remember to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and ring the bell for notifications on more compelling content like this. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the potential of brain backup and digital consciousness transfer. Stay curious and keep looking toward the future.